Sarah will be here, and then me and Siri will be up here, and then like the NATO will be, not the shark, the NATO. No, I've actually been a huge Great Wave guy for my whole life, so.
Something in the money has to be made.
And I'm trolling for another job, so I was like, Sharknado too. Pete comes alive.
Jack, you had some ideas for follow-ups?
My movie is Shih Tzu Nami. It's a ball of Shih Tzus that overtakes Comic-Con.
Happy birthday will be by later to pick up the check.
It's just my public domain.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The old thing is done.
So, Jack, there are a lot of sort of bombshells dropped at the end of season 4.5. How are those going to play out?
I don't know. We're going to improv the whole last 6. We have to wrap up Claudia's sister, who we will meet. We have the wonderful Chrissy Whitehead is playing Claudia's sister, and Claudia, Chrissy and Allie are already like best buds. They go to dance
Completely in love with each other. We've been to ballet class together. We're singing together. We're already planning when we go back to LA, the girls' nights we're gonna have.
I know.
We're sisters.
It's not a bromance, it would be a lesbomance? Not really.
You said Sheelix, right?
A Sheelix. It's a Sheelix.
Nothing dirty.
No, but they're really close. And it's great. We're going to wrap up the sister, and we'll find out why she's a dangerous woman, and how Claudia can try to make her undangerous. And we have a really cool storyline to follow that. We're going to wrap up Paracelsus. We have 6 amazing episodes, because we originally broke in 10 episodes, and then when they said we had 6, we thought, all right, we'll do 5 amazing episodes, and then we'll do the last 4 episodes all in 1 episode. So you're getting 10 episodes in the space of 6. We're going to a Renaissance fair. We're going to fall into a telenovela. We're bringing back a big bad that nobody's going to expect is coming back. Who's going to surprise us all. We have a finale, a season finale that's essentially a clip show of clips you've never seen. And it's every character will find out something they didn't know about each other. Every character will learn more. Every character will find some sort of satisfaction, and yet there'll be a sadness and a moving forward of everything. So I think you guys are going to be really happy. I mean, what do you think?
100%. I mean, I cried when I read the finale. I think most of us did, and it's so satisfying. It doesn't feel like the show's ending. It just feels like the legacy and the mythology of the warehouse will live on. It feels eternal.
Forever. After 5 movies.
Job over there.
I get to play a character named Armando. And I make sure that we're making this big giant mustache, and I'm gonna wear a crushed velvet vest, no shirt underneath, so that my chest hairs poke out.
None of that is true.
It is up here.
And you actually do play a lot of different characters on the show. I mean, different emotions, ranges of emotion on the show. How do you sort of go from place to place as an actor?
You know, I was just saying earlier in the press room, for me, that's one of the best parts of this show, and for Pete, and the brilliance of which Jack has given Pete this voice. You know, the ability to, in one moment, say something absolutely ridiculous and silly, and then the next moment, he and MYKA are saying something together and you're crying. And it's like, you know, at the end of this show, you're kind of exhausted. And,
but in a good way.
And in a good way, yeah. So, you know, it's been a great challenge, and I've been really lucky.
Well, it seems like, I mean, there are a lot of, well, for a show that's primarily about sort of sci-fi dangers, Joanne, you in particular have had to deal with like very real-world problems. A character got ovarian cancer, which I don't think people were sort of expecting from that show. And were you expecting it? When you read the script, was that a huge surprise? And then how did you deal with it?
Jack had told me previously, he's like, don't worry, we're not writing you out of the show. This is the storyline that we're going to give you. And I was really nervous about it. You know, it's a very difficult thing to do well. I thought we had a huge responsibility. It's a disease that's touched pretty much everyone. I mean, everyone here is a friend or an aunt or an uncle, or every family has a brush with it. And I was very scared, but I think we did it justice. I mean, the scene with when I tell Pete that I'm sick was really important to me, and the response that I got from a lot of people was very it was positive. So I'm glad that we represented that kind of struggle well.
Yeah, I pitched a Cialis episode where Pete gets a pie visit. And Jack was like, no, we're staying the course. I said, all right, it's your show.
This is the fundamental difference between us, right there.
And he keeps trying to put his real life events into the show. I don't want to get that close.
I
Here,
don't think
my wife's here.
people clearly don't appreciate how serious a problem that is. That's the
It affects all of us sometimes.
How did we get into this?
Well, because
Never mind.
it's a Cialis commercial.
Why would you ask him that question?
It's a product integration. All kinds of potential. Anyway, Saul, you're a character frequently, you have to get really worried about things that could easily be silly, except that they're not, because your character has like huge stakes in Edgar Allan Poe's Notebook, or any number of weird artifacts. I'm sorry.
What did you do?
I took his phone.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's happening.
Joanne took Eddie's phone, and so he asked me.
What? You're tweeting?
Texting.
I was tweeting as him.
If you take away Eddie's phone, he can't speak. He doesn't know how to host Eddie's phone.
Back to gravitas.
I'm going to look through Eddie's pictures, because there's bound to be some cool stuff in his pictures. I was going to go through your camera roll. Holy cow! Yeah, I understand the Cialis stuff now.
Who wants a text?
Hey, I'm Irish.
Thank you guys for coming. Oh, thank you. It's so bittersweet this year. It's so good to see all your faces.
Yeah, everybody wants you on Twitter. Let's talk about that.
I'm scared. I'm scared to
dive in.
become a full-blown narcissist.
Eddie, let's talk about that.
You see how easy it is for me?
Aaron,
Did you ask Saul a question?
Remember when Saul was going to pontificate on things?
It's gone. The moment is wrecked. But I was going to ask Aaron what it was like to join an established cast.
It was nerve-wracking at first, but as you can see, these guys are laid back and we had a good time. But yeah, the first episode when I got on the show, I saw how well these guys worked together, and I was a little worried because you feel like the new kid in class. And luckily, they were incredibly warming and welcoming. And there's only one sort of hazing thing. Eddie farted in the bronzer. When I had to be in there, but he just let one rip, and I got in there and I see him just smiling at me. Like what? And I was like, oh! Yeah,
It's Cabbage Day.
Every day is cabbage day.
This is Aaron
And I don't get along at all, as you can tell.
Aaron is such an asshole.
I'm Canadian. You know.
Yeah.
Aaron came on the set and I was like, friend, and that's just it. And we're gonna speak in Ebonics, and I'm just gonna, I mean, okay. Yeah, exactly. And Aaron, bless him, just rolled with it. Was like, who is this crazy girl? It's like throwing this, well, we are the second A team, and just
Well, we
take
have
it with the champ.
we have a major Gay Best Friend episode coming up.
I don't know
Claudia
how I am going to keep a straight face for this entire episode.
Claudia gets to meet the really, really gay side of Steve. Steve gets to meet the really, really gay side. Jack's going to introduce Steve to the really, really gay side of Jack, and then Steve will play him. Looking forward to it. In the body that Jack has always wanted.
And it's
For himself. For himself.
well, it's been really hard for you to play the role because you hate Buddhists.
For me? I mean, Buddhist here? Yeah, I mean, there's not.
That, you know, I'm actually really looking forward to that. Because we see both sides of Steve. You see, it's a cool splitting episode, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Very soon, too. We do that very soon.
Yes, we got the next.
I gotta get my gay on.
Careful what you say.
Let's move on. Allison, your character, knows that her sister Claire is still alive, and Artie's been keeping that a big secret. How is that going to affect your sort of daughter-father relationship?
Well, I mean, that whole storyline is so great for a lot of reasons. I mean, from the moment I joined the show, was really curious about the circumstances surrounding Claudia becoming an orphan. I think that's so interesting, and we finally, we used the baby shoes from season 3 to go back to Artie's.
I got one word for you.
See the delayed reaction as people went, wait, really?
But that's one of the things I love about Eddie and Pete's character is that child inside of Pete is kind of what at the end of last season made him do what he did. That kid who doesn't want anybody to be sick, especially the person he cares most about. That kid, the child took over in a way and created this really beautiful arc for his character that now he has to clean up in season 5. But it's just nice to see the way these characters are growing and changing in relationship to each other. How Claudia is in a way now taking care of Artie in a lot of respects.
Well, but how does that work for you? So, like, how do you play it?
Look, we've all grown. The show's a family where all the relationships have been through tremendous jeopardy. And everything we thought was true turns out at one point to be false, but true in a wonderful and magnificent way. And the great thing is that Artie just had this horrible love-hate relationship, loneliness with this place that he couldn't leave. He had nothing, he had no life. It all had been given up. And then these two come, and he really just, they've been thrusted in by Mrs. Frederick. He doesn't know, they look like they're lunatics, they look like they don't belong at all. She looks like she's never going to make it here. He looks like he should belong somewhere else. And then this strange chemistry happens, and he begins to realize that there is a magic here that he can that he can use and he can hardly harness. And what was wonderful about the writing of the show is that I think it was probably Jack who first pitched the idea that, the hell, Artie's going to have no one to talk to. He's got to have somebody to talk to. And that's how Claudia came to be. In our first Comic-Con with you guys, that evening we presented the episode where Claudia came into the show. It was such a wonderful experience meeting everybody for the first time. We had no idea that the show was going to be the hit that it was, but we felt it. We felt it from you guys that very first, you remember? We felt it for that very first time from you guys. And it was, to feel that happening. And as the show has grown, it's because Jack and the writers, used us and used who we were. Somebody asked me earlier, "You're going to miss playing Artie?" I'm going to go, "Artie's? I'm going to miss playing Artie. Artie's in me. I'm going to miss. Are you going to miss one of the artifacts?" No, I'm going to miss people.
Everyone has asked you what your favorite artifact is.
My favorite thing that I heard that everybody's asking what's your favorite episode, what's your favorite episode. I love them all so much, but the one that sticks out to me the most in my head is the second Christmas episode, Greatest Gift, because it showed how this family wasn't a family anymore. They'd all gone off, what would have happened? They'd all gone off in their own directions and never met.
I want to say something. You know, there's so much ironic detachment in the world, since being ironic and being detached is so cool now and in vogue. And I want to thank you guys for your unabashed enthusiasm. What I've learned at Comic-Con, that nervousness is not dead, and thank you for that.
And just speaking of this sort of relationship between the characters, you guys also seem to like each other okay.
No.
No? I'm gonna have to separate you and Eddie.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I gotta tell you, I've been looking at the clock and I'm watching it wind down. I'm like, when am I gonna say the things that I need to say?
You're number one on the call sheet?
Anyway, I really, this seemed like it would go a lot better this morning when I was doing it in the shower. It was a lot less emotional, but thank you, fans of Warehouse 13. All you guys, and thank you. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm done. But, you know.
Let's hear what y'all are doing next. I mean...
She's here.
Saul?
Huh?
What's your next thing?
Oh, I'm never working again. This was a magical thing for me because 5 years ago I was concentrating on writing and directing and looking forward to working on the odd role that I really loved. And I was not expecting that the best role I'd had in my career was just around the corner. Not only that, but the chemistry in a bottle, the magic in a bottle. I've been doing this a long time. I'm very old. And I've been doing this a very long time. And no matter how great the concept, no matter how wonderful, and it was, but no matter about that, unless this group of people were together, you would not have had this show. And this particular group of people, there was a magic. We didn't always get along. There's a lot of wonderful family friction that happened here, but that's all got put into the show. And I know that maybe if I was starting out, I'd say, oh yeah, I guess that's how all series go. But it's not. It's not. Sometimes it's just hell for people to be working 4 or 5 years together. I've been a guest on shows like that. And it doesn't always show. But you guys know, you can see what our relationship is. What you get, what you see is the truth. That magical thing happened. I don't know. I know that all through my life, when I started off doing theater for nothing, all I looked for was that family. Can we find that family again? Keep looking for that family to happen again. And it happened. It happened here. So when you ask me what's next, what's next? Yeah, there's this iron in the fire, and there's that. Is that hot? No, it's cold. Is this iron in the fire getting? There's that. But what keeps me young for me is that I'm going to keep looking to recapitulate that family feeling. I'm never going to stop. You have to carry me out looking for it.
I think test up here. You know, when you finish a show, it's kind of sad and stuff, and live in that and enjoy that. And then when it's time to move on, move on. But in a way, when you do these characters for so long too, whether you choose to or not, you kind of take them on, and to move on to something else really quickly is sometimes difficult because you're still kind of hanging on to where you were. Especially like you guys, I mean, 5 years, that's a long time to stick with these characters, and getting beyond them is you know, you probably don't want to, but you know, we all have to. So I don't know, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll have to go out there and hustle and stuff, but for now, I'm just this summer, just trying to enjoy these characters and enjoy these guys and have fun, and when it's time to move on, but I'm not rushing that right now. And it's also probably will never work again, because that's the old actor's thing, right? Yeah. Hey, I lucked out once, you know, but no, I'm just really trying to enjoy this, and we'll see what happens come next year. But you guys will watch me in something again, right?
Joanne, what's next?
Joanne.
Yes.
It's actually, I don't know, but I'm excited. I've been using the analogy all day that it's like graduating from high school. It's the same amount of time, and you know, you feel excited and anxious and scared and thrilled, and you're gonna miss your friends, but you're excited to make new ones, and that's kind of how I feel. It's kind of how it feels, you know. It's so strange. I'm gonna miss you guys, and I'm gonna miss this. Oh, yeah.
What's your next thing?
Sharknado.
Look, I can talk. Nothing. I have absolutely. I'm selling my house. I'm gonna go home and spend some time with my kids.
His wife and his kids are here today.
I mean, this is the beauty of our job and the beauty of life for me. I love Twitter. I was on Twitter, and I woke up one morning and I looked on my Twitter, and somebody was like, "Oh my gosh, Warehouse 13, my favorite show." I've been watching it I watched it last year in my bunk during the Queensryche tour. Queensryche is a band.
Yeah.
And I was like, Queensryche? Who's from Queensryche? What? And this is actually, it's more like, Queensryche? Boy, am I anxious to find out. So it's this guy, Rudy Sarzo. And I'm like, that name sounds familiar to me. And when I was in the 8th grade, I did a comic book called The Adventures of Ozzy Osbourne.
I've heard this story 6 times.
I know. And I did, Ozzy Osbourne was a jelly bean, and he was a superhero, and all the band members had capes. And there was Randy Rhodes, who unfortunately passed away in a plane crash, and Fruity Sarzo, right? Fruity Sarzo. And this was the guy. So I'm like, hey, man, you can't be a fan of me because I'm a fan of you. And this is a guy who I've admired my whole life, and he came here tonight to the panel to see you. This job I have, this life with these people, it's a dream. It's a dream come true for me. And I mean, it doesn't matter what I do next. You know, I'm not thinking about it. I still have time with these people, so I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm not gonna cry. Just like Craig Shepard. I said, I know, I look little, he goes, you know, he's here, Craig Shepard is here. So he brought Craig Shepard over to me, and Craig Shepard's like, my God, you look just like me. And I go, I know, but you know who we look like? We look exactly like David Boreanaz. So one day, I get this job on Bones, and in 4 episodes of Bones, season 2, I had floppy hair. Shut up! And so I go to work, and there's David Boreanaz, and I walk up to him, and I'm like, hey, man. He's like, hey, hey! Wow! He goes, you know who you look like? And I go, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And he goes, you look just like Craig Shepard.
So no, he's not going to refuse his role on Bones. But thank you for that question to inspire that story that was only the 40 or 50th time.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's for the kids.
Hi, Sid.
Hey, Jack. Hey, Joanne.
Hey.
My question is, if you guys could take home any artifact or costume, which one would you take and why?
I've already said that Aaron and I are going to have to fist fight each other over the metronome. Because I thought I had dibs, and then I just heard today Aaron thinks he's taking it home.
I'm a kind of bitch.
Custody, like
That's what I'm
sister
saying.
traveling metronome.
Yes. It's 2 months on, 2 months off.
For me, I think the film noir was maybe my favorite episode. Yeah, there's not enough broads in the world anymore. You know what I mean? And I think those dresses from that episode. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, those dresses.
I want the football. Because I think it affects a pretty penny on eBay.
And you've already stolen all the product.
Well, I do wear some Prada on the show. I'm a label hula. Yeah, for me it'd be the football. I'm from Canton, Ohio. What about you, Saul?
I want our small office.
Yeah.
The steam.
You first walked into that set and I went,
No acting required.
Just lots of props.
Oh God, I miss you guys.
Don't you start.
Hey, we've still got 6 more weeks. Keep the ball in the air.
What are you going to take?
Huh?
What are you going to take?
I say other people will want it.
What?
I'm not saying. And they already have it. Good luck writing it into an episode. Because it's going to be there.
I'm taking Mrs. Frederick.
Hey guys, before my question, James Marsters told me to tell you he loves you all very much.
People here like James Marsters, too.
I really like James Marsters' cheekbones.
They should be an artifact.
There you go.
James and Tony both were just so much fun together and so much fun to work with. They were just, it was great fun. They were fantastic.
Okay, my question is for Eddie. What did you do as an actor to invest in the moment when Pete confesses to MYKA about the car crash?
He farted.
No, I farted after.
It's actually a story because remember they had to reshoot it. Remember they didn't get it that one
Oh,
take.
they said my collar of my shirt was up, and the script supervisor was like, that's not good, not good.
Lisa's gonna hate that impression. She's gonna tell.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, as I said, you know, I'm 13 years sober. And and so, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things that a lot of people that maybe I would have liked to have been able to apologize for some things that I did in my past that I never had an opportunity to do, and that was a way for me to work through that in my actual work. So I just use that as like substitution.
You know, he's known for his comedy, but Eddie is one of the best dramatic actors that I know.
Sorry.
I'm done.
Hi, I'm Vita. I'm such a huge fan of the show. I even made a working Farnsworth.
Where do you get reception and talk to people on it?
Oh no, it's just me.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have time.
They're called iPhones.